everybody, and welcome back to FamCamATL. Today we are cooking spicy rigatoni with a side of, in Armenian we call it kotlet. In Italian they might call it meatballs. It's like a beef slider patty. Anyway, it's ground beef with some spices, and it's just what my kids love to eat with the side of noodles. So I'm gonna put my gloves on because I hate to touch raw meat. And the thing about my recipes, they're very interchangeable. You can add and remove whatever you like based off of your flavor profilings. Today I'm going to keep it simple. It's just going to be some pepper, some salt, and some garlic powder, some onion powder because my family hates whole onions. They don't mind the flavor. They hate big chunks of onion. And then this is Aleppo pepper. It's nice. It's got a small little kick. You could substitute this with paprika, cayenne pepper, whatever it is that you like. You can also, at this point, if you want to make it really meatball-y, add some, like a cracked egg with some breadcrumbs, but I just don't feel like doing that today. So I'm just going to season it, and then I'm going to mix it up with my gloves. I'm gonna roll them into little patties, and then I'm just gonna put them on the stove top and let it cook. And then we're gonna have our meatballs. And while this is all happening, I am getting my water boiled. We're gonna have a side of broccoli today, and then get that water boiling for our pasta. And then we're gonna go into the sauce, which is, again, the spicy rigatoni. And the reason why I started making this sauce is A, I saw it on Instagram and I was like, I think this is genius and amazing. But B, we've been very conscious of what we eat, and a lot of these jarred sauces just are no good. They're full of really crappy stuff, and so this is a perfect way to eat clean, nice, good pasta that doesn't take 18 hours cooking on the stove, but it's delicious. It's a fan favorite. My kids love it. My husband loves it. It really is good. I wouldn't call it the healthiest meal because, you know, there's some heavy whipping cream in there, there's some butter and all that, but it is really good, and we're using all really good ingredients, and at the end of the day, that is one of the main things that matter. And if you are really conscious, you can like substitute some stuff, and I can walk you along what are some of the things you can substitute, but today, this is how we're making it. It never fails. So, we got our meat mixed. And then I'm just going to grab a little bit at a time. This is 1 pound of ground beef. And then we're going to cook them on both sides. They're going to cook really fast and easy. And they're just going to go really good with the pasta. Alright, so we have our patties or cutlets. Imagine saying cutlet, but with a A instead of a U. It's a cutlet, and that's just... I really don't know what the definition is in Armenian. I want to say it means like rounded meat. Don't quote me on it. I don't want the Armenian people coming after me, but it's just meat, rounded meat. Sometimes it's like a log, like a kebab, but this is just quick, easy way to go. I made this is 1 pound of meat, divided in about roughly 2 ounces, so it's 2 per person. We're a 4-person family, so this works perfectly for us. And then we just got our pan hot, nice and hot, ready to go. We're not going to start it with oil because this is not 100% ground lean beef, so it has natural oils in it, and we're just going to use that as the residual oil to cook it in. So let's go cook this up. Alright, here we go. Let's cook these up. No oil in here. Just the meat doing what it does. And you don't want to overcrowd the pan. These will shrink a little bit, so this fits in my pan perfectly. And we're just going to let it cook to get nice golden on each side. And while that's happening, our water is boiling. We're going to get our broccoli in there. This is just going to be a simple steamed broccoli as a healthier option to go on the side to get some veggies in our meal. And then this portion will be done pretty soon, and then we'll get started on our sauce. Hayır, katladı inşa. On like katladı, what does it translate to? No, like cutlet onun iminak onunla misite cutlet nishana kuma kalor mis. Oh. But Rusların inşa cutlet'ı inşa bu yata translate on this inşa asum. Okay, so our water has boiled and we're making a quick, simple steamed broccoli. Always salt your water when you're boiling anything. This might be a little too much. About a palm size. This is also the water I'm going to use to cook my pasta, so it's 1 stone, so then I don't have to wash too much. So here's my broccoli. My hands are clean. I'm just going to toss it in there. This is literally going to be a couple minutes. We like to have our broccoli still a little bit crunchy. We don't like to have mushy broccoli. And this is going to go so quick. Like, you can already see the color difference, how the cooked broccoli is going to turn bright green. This is why you also would want to shock your broccoli. But again, I'm a bit lazy and I'm not going to do it. And it never fails. My broccoli still stays crunchy. So this is literally going to be in here for about a minute or two because my broccolis are pretty large. And then I'm just going to use the same clean bowl to put it back in here. And once this is done, sometimes the kids really like it if I just squeeze some lemon juice on it and then I throw some olive oil. But today I'm going to keep it simple and steamed because the sauce is so rich and creamy that I just really want to put some more vitamins in their meal. All right, it's been 2 minutes and now I'm just gonna use my little spider whisk to drain out all the water. You don't want any of this water because then that will make your broccoli mushy. So just wait until nothing's really dripping. Put it in your bowl and your veggie for the meal is done. Your water is already boiled, ready to put some pasta in there. And the best part is, if we don't eat all this broccoli today, since I'm not putting any lemon juice in it, we could just use it for some omelets in the morning and then have a nice little healthy breakfast as well. So our broccoli's all ready. We're going to turn off our water. We're not ready for our pasta yet. We're getting ready to flip our cutlets, and then we're gonna get started on our sauce. Okay, so our cutlet has been cooking for about 5 minutes on this side. We know because around the meat is starting to get real brown, so we know that the other side should be nice and crispy. The middle always first because it's the hottest part of your pan. You see those nice crispy bits? We're just gonna flip this bad boy over. I got mom fingers. And then we're gonna let it cook for another 5 minutes on this side. And then we're gonna get started on our sauce. Turn our water back on, and by the time everything's ready, dinner's gonna be done. So now we are getting ready to start our sauce. She is the main event. If you've ever been to Carbone, this is kind of a replication of the spicy rigatoni. I personally love anything spicy. A lot of things that I cook are always interchangeable. You can interchange to what you like. A few things I'm going to tell you today are non-negotiables. I really want you to try it with these ingredients because I have changed them out with other ingredients before and they just do not taste the same. Number one is pasta. This branded pasta is my favorite. There's an Italian couple that I follow and he always talks about how long a pasta is aged will determine how good a pasta is. This is made in Italy and it has been aged for 9 hours. It never fails. Every one of my family members are picky as heck and they love it. This is the rigatoni shape. We've tried it with the spirals, the cavatelli, bow ties. It really works with any shape, but it is spicy rigatoni, so today we're doing rigatoni. The olive oil, you don't have to get this brand, but good olive oil is key in any kind of cooking. You use bad quality, your food is gonna taste that way. And then lastly, purity vodka. I've tried this recipe with multiple different vodkas. It just does not taste the same. One time I made it for my family in LA and I used every single ingredient, the exact same brand except the vodka, and it had just a different taste to it. So purity vodka is really good. It is all organic and it's purified, so I presume that that's the reason why this vodka is just really good, and why it just tastes better when you make it. Red pepper flakes, use whatever brand you like. This recipe will be really good if you like onions. You want to start it off with like a sauteed onions. My family absolutely will not eat anything with onions in it, and because you can't blend the sauce, I just don't put any onions in it at all. So I just put garlic, and you could freshly chop your garlic. I freshly chop and freeze my garlic, so when I'm getting ready to cook, I just thaw it out for like 10 minutes and then it's ready to go. You need some heavy whipping cream, about a tablespoon of butter. This will go in the end. A whole can of tomato paste, and then I always like to have homemade tomato sauce on the side. It doesn't have to be homemade, you can take it out of a can as well, but sometimes it just gets too thick and I like to thin it out with some sauce. So not a lot of ingredients, very humble ingredients, and you know, most people will have all these ingredients in their pantry, so this is a really good way if you have any last minute guests coming over and you really want to make like a wow dish. This will definitely wow them. So let's get started. All right, so our cutlets are ready to go. We're gonna remove this from the oven, the heat. We're gonna add a large pan. This is my wok, you don't have to use a wok. I just like to have something large to be able to mix everything in. So that's what I'm using. If you have a large flat pan, like a larger version of this, it'd be perfect to use as well. So I'm on medium heat. My pan just went on. I'm going to add my olive oil. I would say about like a good 2 tablespoons. And if you're gonna add onions to saute, this is the time where you would chop up your onions, add the onions to it. We want to make sure that this gets kind of hot. And I'm only gonna do garlic, but since garlic will burn fast, I'm gonna wait to put that in. I'm gonna first start with a full can. This is a 6-ounce tomato paste. So we're gonna start this, and we just wanna get it all in there and just get it nice and warm. This is tomato paste, so it's really thick. It's very dense tomato flavor. So we want it to cook up a little bit. Get every bit of it in there. Groceries are too expensive to leave things in the can. All right. So now I just kind of move it around. Make sure the oil incorporates in with the tomato paste. This is where, if you haven't started to boil your water for your pasta, start doing that. My water's still hot from the broccoli. So I'm gonna give it a minute because you want this timing to be perfect so that once the pasta is done cooking, the sauce is done, you add the pasta in, and you want to eat this meal fresh. You also don't overdo this where you have so much for leftovers, because any pasta dish leftover just isn't the greatest. So I always like to just cook to what I know my family's gonna eat. And just for reference how well this brand, they pack by weight, not for volume, but this bad boy is pretty fully stocked, where this is the line they say it's supposed to be filled in. And because Rigatoni's larger, obviously there's gonna be more space, but they are not skimping on this pasta. So when they're on sale, just grab a couple, have them on stock. My kids love pasta, especially my son. He will literally, if I let him, eat half this box with no problems. So you'll start seeing the pepper paste is really, not pepper paste, tomato paste. It's starting to thin out a little bit. So I'm just gonna let it cook like this for a couple minutes. And then this is when I will add my garlic. You don't want to leave this and walk away for a couple minutes and do something else, because it can burn and then you're just gonna have a really bitter, burnt taste. It's not gonna be good, trust me. It happened once before. Because I didn't want to waste all the food, I made everybody eat it, and they were not very happy about it. So once I see that there's no more oil left in my pan, my sauce has already soaked up all that oil. This is where I will add my garlic. You want to incorporate it. You don't want to let this garlic be raw on the pan, because again, garlic burns so fast and you'll get that same bitter taste. So if you can see, my garlic almost has just dissolved into my tomato paste. And then I'm gonna add, I would say like close to a tablespoon of red pepper flakes. I, again, like it spicy, so if you don't, only do about a teaspoon. If you don't like spice at all, you could really omit it. It's just gonna taste like tomato paste. And we just wanna let the garlic and the red pepper flakes just kind of toast a little bit. And then the vodka will come. If I had to give a measurement, because I don't really measure stuff when I'm cooking, I just go by feel. This is about 3/4 of bottle left. I may use all of this. It really depends on how much I want to thin out the sauce. But I would say start at like 1/4 of a cup, and then kind of move from there. We're going to cook out all the alcohol from this, so you're not going to get drunk eating this. You can have your kids eat it, your baby eat it. It's just vodka sauce. Vodka sauce is called vodka sauce because there's always vodka in it. If you don't want to use vodka, just don't put vodka in it at all. Just add some sauce and some more tomato sauce and you'll be good to go. So now we're gonna put it in here. It's gonna get a little crazy. Don't inhale in this moment because you will inhale the vodka. And we're not taking shots right now. So as you can see, my sauce got real thinned out real quick, but then it's gonna thicken immediately. So that's where I add a little bit more. And this is just kind of where I see how thick my sauce to my vodka ratio is. And there's really not a lot left in there, so we'll pour some out for the homies. We're still on medium heat. This is where you want to watch out because this tomato will start splattering all crazy. But you do want it to keep it at a medium heat because we want the vodka to boil out of here. And this will be the longest time we kind of cook this out. I would say for about 3 to 5 minutes. We're just gonna stir, allow the vodka to just cook out. So we're just left with the flavor and no alcohol. And since this is about halfway there, I'm gonna move my cutlets out of here. I'm gonna put my hot water back to boil because once we add the sauce and the heavy cream, the sauce is ready to go and the pasta goes in. And the pasta will need to cook for at least about 12 minutes. I am stirring continuously again because I do not want anything to stick, to burn. And at the 3-minute mark, I would say this is when you want to come to a little woof and see, are you feeling like you're about to take a shot of vodka? And if you are, let it go another minute or two, and then we'll be ready for our sauce. Because if you can see, it is pretty thick right now. And I personally don't love a super thick sauce, and again, my family is the pickiest eaters there are, so I try to make it resemble a marinara sauce that they would get, you know, at any restaurant, so that they could eat, because you know, you eat with your eyes before you eat with anything else. So right now we're about a 2-minute mark. It's looking real good. Ooh, I just took a whiff. There's definitely vodka in there. Let's set this down for a second. open my sauce. All right, we're at 3 minutes. I'm still getting some vodka flavoring in my nostrils. So I'm gonna let it cook for about a minute more. Add some sauce. And then we'll be ready to go. You can see I haven't put any salt in here or pepper or anything like that. All my salt is gonna come from the salted water from the pasta water. I don't want to over salt it, and I use kosher salt, so it gets pretty salty. And you know, when you're cooking pasta, you want like the water to be salty like the sea. So I'm just gonna let the pasta get seasoned in this water, and then it's gonna make my sauce perfectly seasoned. All right. All right, it's looking good. I'm just gonna add, I don't know, roughly like a quarter of a cup. This is one of those sauces I really kind of cook by color. I don't want it to be super rich red, like how the tomato paste looked when out of the can. I want to see a little bit like pinker of a color, and it's pretty, it is still kind of thick. I might add just a little bit more. But remember, we're gonna add some heavy whipping cream, so that really will thin it out. All right, so our pasta is cooked. We're gonna add our heavy cream. And then while the pasta cooks, this will be the perfect amount of time to allow the cream to marry with our sauce. And then we're just gonna add our pasta, and dinner is served. We ready? We ready? Ooh, my sauce going crazy. See, we're not draining, we're just going straight into the sauce. I'm not trying to burn myself, trying to get a cup into this hot pasta water. I'm just ready to go. There might be some bits of broccoli in here, but again, who has time to wash 2 pots? Not I, even though I'm not the dishwasher of the family. Hey! You know, we made this agreement. I cook, he cleans. And it's been almost 16 years. I'm not budging. All right, look at this, baby. It looks so good. Ooh-wee. This is the noise you want to hear. Sauce sticking to the pasta. Heat off. We're ready to eat. All right, let's make a plate. All right, so here's our plate. We got our broccoli, our pasta, our gotlet. I called my mom to fact check myself. Gotlet does not really have a meaning of rounded ground beef of any sorts. In fact, she says it could be a Russian word. So anyway, we've called it gotlet my whole life. That's what I'm going to continue to call it. But let's dig in. It's so high. Cheers. Oh, see the steam? Good? Dunk your gotlet into the sauce.
I don't know how to pronounce that word.
But you should.
I never.
It's like, say cutlet, but gotlet. Like, not cat, but like got. You know how you say milk? Look at that.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is delicious. We're gonna go have a meal. Thank you so much for stopping by and cooking another meal with us. Follow us for some more, and if there's something in particular you want us to cook for you, just shoot us a comment and let us know, and it'll be our next video. Thank you guys so much. Join us next time for FamCamATL.